Welcome to Cinema, where we focus on a film. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema, and today I'm in a good impromptu Goodwill haul, going out to a doctor's appointment, and the hand is doing good for what it is. It's just needing a little bit more time to recover from her surgery, so we're just giving you a quick update on that, but going right into the haul, we got Stephen King, The Pet Cemetery. Yes, I got some books, as well as some rare Criterion Blu-rays. I'll go over the books first, and I just really love Stephen King as an author. I haven't been reading as much recently, but I always like to pick up a good Stephen King book to the collection when I can. It is a little bit tattered, but I do kind of like the design just for that. Obviously it's not the book jacket design as it is, but for this certain book, it almost looks kind of nice like that. And then we got a little bit something different, the success principles. Of course, with YouTube, I'm trying to really take this off into something that not only helps the community in growing, but just in general, being able to do this full time would be a dream of mine. And so we got something of that nature. And then we got some actors' books. We have Will. I've heard good things about this, released a few years back. I have not read anything about it. It's about Will Smith, of course, and just certain things around the film industry, which I do want to get into more of in general. So that's why I picked up one of those, and it just really stood out. Finding some rare gems well, they're not necessarily rare, but finding some gems at Goodwill for basically $2 a piece for the hardbacks and $1 for that one paperback. Next up, this was a really good find that I generally enjoy. Paul Newman. It's a memoir from him himself, and I just enjoy him as an actor. I haven't watched as many films that I would call myself a huge fan, but I've seen A Color of Money, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, and maybe a couple others. And I need to dive deeper into his filmography in general. But in general, I'm really excited. I found this, wanting to learn more about him in his life. I don't know directly how much he talks about his films or film career, but in general, it's about the extraordinary life of an ordinary man. And really excited I found this. Just one of the prize gems just recently, last year, starting to get into him exposure for the first time. Next up, we have Billy Graham, The Inspirational Writings. Now, I do have a general consensus of, I do enjoy him. I haven't really followed him at his preachings as much recently. And yes, I have such a diverse reading list just from what I picked up today. But this is just 3 books in one. I don't believe I've read any of his books. I've just recently started getting into some of his sermons, but in general, just expanding my book collection for general of anything that I have of my different interests: actors, biography, fiction, Christian literature. So in general, it's just a diverse list. But now going into the Blu-ray or Criterions in general that I'm really thrilled to have. We got My Life as a Dog. This is by Lasse Hallström. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now this, I haven't watched as much of his works, but this was, of course, the Blu-rays are $5 at Goodwill, and so finding any sort of Criterion is a gem. And I also found Chronos on DVD Criterion. That's still widely available. I don't think I've seen My Life as a Dog very much often, and for $5 it's used, but it looks like it's in pretty good condition. Like, the case looks a little messy, but nothing like sticky or gross or anything. But it's a film from 1985, and it's mononaural in Swedish with English subtitles. And so this was before he was doing English films, and so that's going to be really interesting to dive into it. I've seen some good reviews, haven't heard as much about it though. So in general, just really happy to have found that, especially since I haven't found it in other people's hauls in general. But that leads to the final item, the rare gem of the day, Rosemary's Baby on Criterion DVD. Yes, I was I had to check, and it unfortunately is just DVD and not Blu-ray, but in general it still has all the special features you can find on this. And for DVD Criterion, they added a little bit of a bonus tax where it was $4 instead of $2 for DVDs in general, but for Criterion you can't complain. And I looked up the quick prices when I was there, because I knew this was out of print and people were really wanting after it. And the cheapest price was like $24 on eBay, but then it went straight up to $40+. So for $4 for Rosemary's Baby out in the wild, I'm just thrilled to have this to the collection. I actually have not watched this film at all, and maybe I'll be waiting to get or find a Blu-ray or whatever to watch in better condition. But in general, had to get this just because of the extra documentaries, behind the scenes, special features that Criterion has on their collection and disc in general. Just really thrilled to have that. I was just super surprised to find it. And yes, it's just DVD, but it's way much better than having not had it at all. And so that's just my haul impromptu for today from Goodwill. Let me know down in the comments below what you have been picking up lately. Have you been finding some good finds at Goodwill? Which I haven't had too much recently, but overall this was a great haul that I just went into not expecting. And just make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already.